states continue to canvass for votes from the electorate. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says there is no plan to postpone the 2023 general election as it presents voters' register of 93.47 million to political parties. The police in Osun State have warned political thugs it will not condone any act of violence as the 2023 general election approaches. On the interview segment for today, we will be discussing politics in Enugu State, southeast Nigeria, with the Deputy Director of Media for the PDP campaign organization in the state, Dr. Reuben Onyishi. Welcome to Politics Tonight. Stay with us. Welcome back to the program. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, says there is no plan to postpone the 2023 general election. Professor Yakubu said the timetable for the election stands as the commission presents a clean voters register of 93.47 million to political parties in Abuja. TVC News senior correspondent Joke Adisa reports.
Section 10, subsection 6 of the newly enacted Electoral Act mandates INEC to present a clean register of would-be voters to political parties well ahead of any election.
So I present this to your party. Take it easy now.
It is in fulfillment of this provision that INEC is meeting with representatives of political parties. Nigeria now has 93,469,008 registered voters. Lagos State takes the lead with 7,060,195, and it is followed by Kano with 5,921,370, while Kaduna is just behind with 4,335,208 registered voters. In the last 48 hours, INEC has been at the center of discussions regarding its fears that rising insecurity may compel a shift in the 2023 general election, which is about 6 weeks away. This has generated widespread reactions, even from the government of the day, which insists nothing will jeopardize the elections.
The repeated assurance by the security agencies for the adequate protection of personnel, materials, and processes also reinforces our determination to proceed. The 2023 general election will hold as scheduled.
The political parties applaud the efforts of the Commission so far and promise their continued support towards achieving set goals.
Political parties are resolved to ensure that we cooperate with the Commission to ensure that the Commission have a smooth and successful election.
We've been campaigning for the past almost 1 year now. And we have a set target of election coming on the 25th of February for the first one, second one on the 11th of March. So it's a welcome development, and we are excited that INEC keeps the timetables.
The situation in Anambra was tense, but the Commission went ahead with the cooperation of other political parties and then held the election. The atmosphere now is more peaceful than what we had during the Anambra governorship election. So there's no reason whatsoever why the election will not hold.
The coast is getting clearer with 11 out of the 14 scheduled activities of INEC for the 2023 elections now executed. Nigeria now has over 93 million registered voters as attention shifts to PVC collection, which is slated to end on the 22nd of this month. Joke Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.
The All Progressives Congress APC in Ekiti State has inaugurated a 143-member committee for the Presidential Campaign Council in the state. The members include former governors Kayode Fayemi and Adeniyi Adebayo, National State Assembly members, among others. TVC News Ayomide Ajeibe reports.
So has the state governor Biodun Yebanji as the chairman and the immediate past governor Kayode Fayemi as co-chairman. The governor in his speech says the mandate is to work for total victory of the party in all the elections from presidential to national and state assembly, and appeal to members of the party to avoid rancor and litigations pre, during and post-election.
We are no stranger to the candidate of our party, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He is the indisputable father of progressive politics in Nigeria. Our target is to build the state that return the highest percentage, I'm not saying numbers, highest percentage of votes to APC. And Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu come February 25 to 2023. Nobody should do anything that can cause our election to be.
It's begun on the presidential election in the words before now, stating that the inauguration of the campaign council is just the icing on the cake, and urged all support groups to work together with the party in the state and not in isolation.
Take this assignment that you are giving to us with all seriousness that it deserves, and that we will go into all the nooks and crannies of our state to plead the cause of all our candidates. We are a party that should work in synergy, not in disparate arrangement, so that we are all on the same page with those who are support groups, because there are also people who want to be more APC than APC.
A serving member of the House of Representatives who didn't get return ticket, Wumi Ognola, says the leadership of the party can do better by reconciling aggrieved members and not by calling their bluffs.
Somebody who is supposed to be the arrowhead of the party going to a local government and telling the people that anybody that wants to leave the party should leave the party. I don't think that is a way to build a cohesive party. That is not a way to build a party that wants to win election. That does not mean we are not going to win. We are going to win. I believe so much in the presidential candidate.
The presidential candidate of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is expected to be in Ekiti in February for the mega campaign. Ayomide Ajay, the TVC News, Ado Ekiti.
In Osho State, the police command says it will not condone any act of violence as the 2023 general election approaches. This followed attacks by some suspected political thugs in Ilesha. Rafiu Hamid reports.
Few weeks, there has been rising political violence in the states. Billboards of various political parties are not spared in different parts of the state, including Oshobo, Ijebu-Jesha, Ilesha, Ede, Ikiron, among others. On the 24th of December last year, a former commissioner for works and transport, Remi Omowaye, was attacked and his vehicle destroyed. Here is another attack on the Tinubu Shetima campaign office in Ilesha on Saturday, 7th of January. Same day, the chief of staff to the Speaker of the State Assembly was also attacked and sustained injuries. Members of the APC alleged that all the attacks were carried out by the PDP.
Got here this morning, we saw that this entire place had been ridden with bullets. This is happening second time within 2 weeks. It is so shocking that this is happening. We have reported severally to security agencies. Nothing had been done.
Peace must come back to Ijesha. For the past 3 weeks now, the Ijesha area, the 6 local government in Ijesha, they are stuck to battlefield. Go to Igangan today. Iwara. Nearly all the people have deserted the area.
But the People's Democratic Party debunked the allegation.
We are the party in government, and we are busy trying to put a government in place and put smiles on the face of Osun people. I don't see any reason why we should engage in attacking an ex-commissioner.
While the All Progressives Congress says no member of the opposition parties was attacked while the party was in power for 12 years in the state, the People's Democratic Party says the attacks could have happened as a result of internal wranglings within the APC. The State Police Public Relations Officer warned that the command will not condone any act of violence.
Anybody that is found, doing what is not right, we are assuring them, the police is assuring them that they are going to face the full wrath of the law if they are caught. And there is no way they will run away. They cannot run for long.
She assures law-abiding residents of the state of adequate security. It's about 45 days to the election, and it is expected that security operatives will stem the tide of the attacks to guide against voter apathy on the election day. Rafiu Hamid, TVC News, Oshobo.
At this point, let's take a short break, and when we return, it will be time to speak with the Deputy Director of Media for the Enugu State PDP campaign, Reuben. You're welcome back. This is still Politics Tonight, digging beyond the headlines. And now to our interview with the guest of the day. I am now joined by the Deputy Director of Media for the Enugu State PDP campaign organization, Dr. Reuben Onyishi, to discuss politics in the Southeast States. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much. Just a point of correction. I am the Director of Online Media, PDP campaign organization in Enugu State, not the Deputy Director. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so let's get started. What do you think Nigerians stand to gain if the PDP is voted into power again? And at this point, I'm talking about poor Nigerians, and both at the national and the state levels.
Well, I want to talk about the state level now because I'm a director at the state level, and PDP has ruled Enugu State from inception of democracy in 1999 till date. And incidentally, quality of candidates that the PDP has presented to the people of Enugu State is something that is welcome, in the sense that he is a very credible candidate, highly cerebral, someone who is prepared and trained and poised to lead. And that is why the people of Enugu State are mighty happy, because this young man has presented to the people a manifesto that contains the roadmap to economic prosperity, a kind of exponential growth in the economy of Enugu State. Clear roadmap, strategic objectives, and financial models. So, of course, it is something that people of Enugu State welcome, because Itampa, the candidate of PDP, says he wants to grow the economy of Enugu State from its present GDP rate of $4.4 billion to $30 billion in 8 years. And it's something that is prepared to do. And believe me, because it has antecedents coming from private sector, even economy, and experience, and then having had a stint in public service when he was the chief of staff to Chimaroka Damani administration, as well as the commissioner for finance. So we are really confident that PDP will sustain the leadership of it, given the credibility of the candidates that has been presented.
All right. Going by that kind of confidence, do you think the PDP in Enugu State has done enough to deserve the votes of the people?
Of course, yes, the PDP has done enough. And that's why the people of Enugu State have continued to vote the PDP. Starting from 1999, when Chimaroke Namani was elected and re-elected 2003, and when he left in 2007, Sullivan Chile was also of the PDP, was elected governor, which Sullivan finished a tenure of 2 tenures of 8 years. Then present governor, Dr. Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, was elected, and Ugwuanyi has so far has played very well. No facets of measuring the scorecard. The PDP administrations have given a good account of themselves. The governors have given a good account of themselves. And PDP has also prudently selected or elected a candidate who is very resourceful and visionary. So I'm confident because of, not just because of antecedents, and in terms of some of the infrastructure, but also at the value proposition that is coming from the candidates for the vote. That is that.
All right. Yeah. Yes, it's a fact that the PDP has ruled Enugu State since 1999. But then the APC chairman in the state who was on our show 2 days ago, and I'm talking about Ugochukwu Agbala, has said there is nothing to show for this. How will you react to this?
Well, the fact is that the man you are talking about, Ugochukwu Agbala, was also of the PDP, was a product of the PDP, was commissioner for works in the Chimaroke administration, and somewhere along the line, he just had to resign because at a point when he wasn't getting it right as the commissioner for finance works, he was asked to resign, and he left and came back to the PDP. You remember that in 2002 he ran for the governorship of Enugu State under ABGA and failed. Then again he came back to the PDP. In 2000 he also moved away. So when we have this kind of a rolling stone that gathers no more, we can't take Ugabala seriously in Enugu State because he's a cantankerous person, and his leadership has messed up the APC in Enugu State. You will agree with me that APC in Enugu State dead is baptized. The people are scattered because of his high-handedness, because of his alleged fraudulent practice, sharp practices, 419, and all manner of things. Remember also that recently some aggrieved members of the APC went to the national headquarters, Abuja, and they protested that Ugabala stole. They said he stole the sum of 1.3 billion naira that was meant for the delegates. The presidential candidates brought this money for the delegates, but the delegates didn't receive the money. Agbala was alleged to have siphoned that money with the present APC governorship candidate, Chen Naji. They saw the protest, the people were protesting, and today the presidential rally was held in Enugu, and the money that was brought by a southeast governor, 238 million, was also alleged to have been stolen by Ugabala. And you saw the people protesting, vehemently asking that this money be restituted. So Ugabala is not someone we are going to take seriously in Enugu State. We can't take him seriously because he has not given a good account of himself. And look at this humongous allegation that is heaped on him. He seems he's not a credible person. I doubt that he can lead Enugu State. And you could see that play out today. The presidential rally was a flop.
Dr. Onyishi, I would kindly, urge you not to make, some allegations that cannot be substantiated. So let's kindly, go straight to the point. Has your governor done enough for your party to be re-elected in Enugu State?
And I said yes, that Governor Reuben has done enough. He has done enough in terms of physical infrastructure. He has done enough in terms of human capital. He has done enough in terms of good governance. He has done enough in terms of security, peace and security. He has done enough in terms of his financial obligations. So he has done creditably well. And he has given the incoming government of a good foundation, to consolidate deliverables and then take Enugu State on export lines. So the things I said, I didn't cook those things up. You are aware that there was a protest by aggrieved APC members.
All right.
I'm saying that these are the allegations I'm making. So I didn't cook them up.
Dr. Onyishi, let's talk about your candidates now. Peter Mba is facing other formidable candidates like Frank Nweke Jr. of ABGA, George Ogara of the APC, and Chijioke Edioga of the Labour Party in Enugu State. How will you rate his chances against these formidable opponents?
I didn't get your question very well.
Your candidate, Peter Mba, is facing other formidable candidates like Frank Nweke Jr. of ABGA. We also have George Ogara of the APC and Chijioke Edelga of the Labour Party in Enugu State. So how will you rate his chances against these other formidable candidates?
I'm just amused at the word formidable. What candidates that you mentioned who is formidable? You know, we haven't seen it, and we can see that bit and back, because most of these guys have been, you know, electioneering without manifesto. Where is the formidableness in someone who doesn't even have an idea of what governance is all about? These guys, they just want to like the APC candidate. You can see that his eye is on campaign funds coming from the national headquarters of the PDP. These guys are not doing anything. They have not told the people of Enugu State what they would do. It is only Peter Mba that has presented manifesto and has been explaining it to the people of Enugu State, moving from one development center to the have 68 development centers in Enugu. And by February 4th, Peter Mba shall have gone round all the 68 development centers, you know, explaining the social contract, telling them what he's going to do, filling their pulse, getting to know what issues they have got, and then classifying each development center in terms of perhaps agricultural zones and the value chain thereof, and then what are the challenges of the people and all that. These are the things Peter has been articulating, and he has told them the number of kilometers of roads he will build, and he has told the people of Enugu State that he's going to move agriculture from pipeline to platform. You understand? And appropriate fully the value chain. He has told the people of Enugu State that Enugu is a coastal city, and Enugu has navigable waters, which is going to revamp and create seaports, and all this with to raising up the revenue profile of the state. And there are financial models, and there are objectives. These things are contained in the document that is manifesto, which is in public domain. But I haven't seen any other person doing anything, any other. All we get from these guys is come out and throw tantrums and look for whom to damage their name and say things that they cannot defend and all that.
You're saying that your governorship candidates will have an easy ride in this election?
Oh yes, of course. It's going to have an easy ride because no other person is campaigning. No other person has brought anything to compare with what he has brought. Someone, what you have is not a dance done with snuff in the palm. It is something that should be taken seriously. And you say you want to be governor, and you just woke up from bed and decided to be governor. You have nothing to offer the people. You have nothing to tell the people of Enugu. And you said you want to be governor. How will you be governor? It is only Peter that has told the people of Enugu State what he's going to do and what governance entails.
All right.
How he's going to consolidate your one deliverable and build upon them. It is only Peter Mba that has done that. Nobody else. None of them. Is it Uchennaji? Uchennaji has nothing to say. He has nothing.
All right then.
All right. Anyway.
All right. Members of India Ganiru Enugu, founded by supporters of Ike Ekweremadu, the senator representing Enugu West Senatorial Zone at the National Assembly, have endorsed PDP governorship candidate Peter Mba for the election. But of what effect is this with the absence of Ekweremadu?
You said what effect?
Members of a support group founded by Ike Ekweremadu.
Yes.
All right. Members of a support group founded by Ike Ekweremadu have the senator representing Enugu West Senatorial Zone at the National Assembly have endorsed PDP governorship candidate Peter Mba for the election. So I'm asking, of what effect is this with the absence of Ekweremadu?
Well, you know that when Ekweremadu was interested in the governorship of the Enugu State, but at a point he withdrew for Peter Mba. You understand? And it is natural that his supporters will also support, support Peter Mba, and that is a leverage, of course. Yes, that's a leverage because those Ekweremadu is a factor in Enugu politics, and he's not someone you can easily dismiss Okay, even though he's not around, it's unfortunate, but he has, a foothold in the state that has this large followership, and they have all pledged their support to Peter Ndubi Simba. There's nobody, I said this thing, that there's nobody who encounters Peter whose doubt is not healed. Peter is someone that it looks as though this young man was born and created to lead, because he has everything about governance at his fingertips. So it is natural that someone with a Kuremado experience and standing politically, who would identify this visionary leader or leadership ability in Kitamba and endorse it. And that is what it has done. And his followers, all of them have pledged their support to Peter. But it might also interest you to know that also Chidoke Edoga himself, who later went to Labour Party, that he also pledged support. After the primaries, he gave a press statement and where he pledged support to Peter Mba and asked all his supporters, including myself, to support Peter Ndubi Simba. And we all closed ranks together, having found that Peter is good and is going to deliver and is going to help Enugu to rediscover itself and move from where Governor Wine has, the level where Wine has attained. We all decided to support him. All right? So it is not just the Kuremadu, but also Chidoke Edoga himself. But I don't know what happened along the time, and Edoga had to leave for Labour Party, where he is now. And I doubt that Labour Party in Enugu has got no foothold at all, because you could also see that it's a concatenation of disgruntled persons who couldn't win at the PDP primaries, and instead of closing ranks to support the candidate of the PDP, spirit of sportsmanship, ideology, or they rather, elope to Labour Party, where they hope to upstage the PDP. But incidentally, they haven't got any foothold there. They don't have any structure. It's just the social media noisy, and then the sentiments that they are whipping, dead sentiment, and that's just all. So you can see, my dear sister, that Kukamba is formidable, and he has large followership, and he has the structure.
All right, Dr. Reuben Onyishi, we still have a lot to discuss, but in the meantime, let's take this break and I will be right back.
It's always a great morning on the TVC Breakfast Show.
Thanks for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
With the array of stories that matter and what's behind them.
As they say, the first blow indicates the direction of government.
Tell us what really is going on between your union and the federal government.
Once it's generated, you
don't use it, it's waste. We are not even sure whether we have a strategy for security.
Are you saying that there was nothing wrong in that?
Was he the one driving the taxi?
Answer the question.
Refill your morning with all you need to know.
Like
yes, just mundane lyrics.
Yes.
How does that fit into your scheme of events or duties right now?
No chief of staff, no general has the right to call a governor to order. The governor has been elected by his people.
Start your day right, because this is the breakfast show that adds to your breakfast. TVC Breakfast, weekdays at 7 a.m. only on TVC News.
So, all in favor say aye. Those against no, the ayes have it.
What do you know about the legislature, its role in governance, and as one of the three arms of government? Lagos Parliament is here to bring it to you as it is. Here to bring you every detail you need to know about the legislature in Africa's most populous city. On Lagos Parliament, you get a chance to meet the lawmaker of the week. Events are critically reviewed. You can also observe plenary in Yoruba language. I am Abimbola Agbebi. Join me every Friday at 9 p.m. as I take you through the activities of the legislature.
Welcome back to Politics Tonight, and I still have with me let's go on. There is a court case at the Enugu Federal High Court instituted by ADC senatorial candidate Chika Emmanuel Idoko, who is, looking out to disqualify all 36 PDP candidates contesting for various posts in the 2023 elections. What impact will this have on the fortunes of the party in the state?
You and I know that that any matter in court is sub judice. I don't think it is right to discuss it, because left for me, it is a frivolous suit that is meant to waste the time of the court. But let's leave it at that, because sub judice, we don't have to discuss a matter that is before the court. That's my take on that.
We're not discussing the case at the moment. We're just asking you, what impact will this have on the fortunes of the party in the election? What impact will it have?
It doesn't have any impact. It doesn't have any impact. Meanwhile, that matter is a pre-election matter that ought to have come up within 14 days, and it is, time barred. Apart from that, he said Chika Idoko is not a member of the PDP. So what is his stake there? He's just a meddlesome interloper and should be regarded as such. So we are not interested in what is going on that matter to court, and we don't recognize that as anything of any consequence, to the query or in the question to our progress. No. There's nothing like that.
All right. Your party, the PDP, is factionalized at the national level, talking about the G5 governors. Don't you think this will hamper its chances of retaining power in the states and the Southeast?
Well, I don't see how the G5 issue concerns Enugu State. Like I said, Enugu State is PDP, and PDP is Enugu State. So, and our governor is also a PDP candidate, not because it holds the PDP ticket of Enugu North Senatorial District. And then also know our governorship candidate, Peter Mbah of PDP, and other candidates of Enugu State. We are minded to deliver them. So we leave the issue of the G5 governors, whatever things at the national level, to that national level.
You know why we cannot, Dr. Reuben, you know why we cannot leave it? This is because the governor of Enugu State is one of the G5 within the PDP. Maybe you would like to answer this. Do you see this as an advantage for the party in the state or otherwise?
Well, like I say, the issue of the G5 had better be left G5 side. But for us in Enugu State, we are minded to deliver the. That is what we are doing. So it's not left. It's not for me to determine what happens at that level.
But your
so
governor.
We leave that matter to G5.
But your governor is one of the G5 governors.
My governor has the right of association. So if he decides to associate with colleagues, there's nothing wrong with that.
Are you in any way saying, or are you indirectly saying their agitation is inconsequential?
That what?
Are you in any way saying that their agitation is inconsequential? If you say that we should leave out the G5 governors, meanwhile your governor is one of them.
I didn't say that the agitation is inconsequential. All right? But I am saying that for us in Enugu State, this is where we are. And then my governor has the right to associate with his colleagues. And if he does associate with his colleagues, then we allow them to take their decision there. But so far, this is where we are in Enugu State.
All right. As a major mobilizer for the PDP, what are you telling the electorates to justify re-electing your party in the States?
What we are telling the electorates? We are telling the electorates, apart from the solid foundation that His Excellency of why has been, we are sharing Peter Mbah's social contract with the people. We are explaining to the people the value that Peter is going to bring to bear. We are explaining to the people what Peter is going to do in all sectors of the economy of Enugu State. We are telling the people of Enugu State that Peter will reduce the poverty head count rate 0% when elected. has contained in his manifesto. We are telling the people of Enugu State that Peter will move agriculture from pipeline to platform. You understand? This is a digital economy, and Peter is minded to fully appropriate the agricultural value chain that modern technology has offered us. So that is what we are explaining to the people. The message is clear. The message is clear. And we are also telling the people that Peter will release investment to make Enugu State the best in terms of ease of doing business. These are the things that we are explaining. Anybody who has heard our story will buy into it. Because Peter is not coming because he wants to make money, not coming because of he wants to do. This is the CEO of a foremost blue chip in the downstream oil sector that has the largest market share. So Peter made it early in life. As at 1992, when he took about 3 million naira to float a bank, Peter's net worth was over 50 million. All right? So at a point, his company, Peter Mbeya Investment Limited, was the sole representative of International Oil Corporation in Nigeria. So he had made it, Peter had made it. So he's not coming, because he wants to make money, but he's coming because he carries the solution that the people need. He carries the solution. He's the solution to economic issues. He's the solution to poverty in Enugu State. That is the message that we are preaching to the people, which no other person is preaching, which Ugabala of APC and Uchenna cannot preach. Look at what happened today at the rally. Do you know that the major APC stakeholders, Chief Ken Nnamani, the former Senate President, Dr. Geoffrey Onyama, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the former Governor, Sullivan Chime, former Speaker of Enugu State House of Assembly, Eugene Odo, major stakeholders of the APC, they boycotted the presidential rally today. They just went to the airport to receive the presidential candidate, Ugabala and Uchenna. But APC is dead. Okay? So you can see that PDP is riding on the crest, riding very high.
Let's
We
talk
would have
about
not
the
credible
Labour
opposition,
Party.
but we haven't got any.
Let's talk about the Labour Party, which, seemed to be gaining ground in the southeast geopolitical zone. How worried is your party about this, considering the fact that the zone used to be the stronghold of your party?
Well, Labour Party, there, when you talk about obedience, okay, we know Obi is well known, but we don't know of any other person in Labour Party in this. The Bible, in the Bible, those who wanted to cast out the demon, the demon asked them, Paul I know, Peter I know, who are you? Many persons want to ride on this back. Many incompetent persons, many persons, they rejected, the derelicts, they now, sedimented down below the Labour Party and want to ride on his back. But the people of Enugu State are not deceived. They are not deceived. Obi we know, but we don't know of any other person. The other person, the other day, they were shouting candidates. Obi wasn't even interested. They were shouting candidates. Let us not, a kind of, trying to take picture with Obi. And Obi wasn't comfortable with that. He said these people, they just want to keep on dropping names. They want to identify with Obi, but Obi don't know them.
So how worried is your party about this?
How can we be worried? Worried over what? Is there anything to worry about? There's nothing to worry about. How can we be worried over somebody that was in PDP, a beneficiary of the Ugwanya administration for 7 years, someone that we school-fed, someone that PDP taught politics? How can we now be worried? That ambition is founded on rebellion. And the Bible took care of rebellion. The Bible said that rebellion is like the sin of witchcraft. Okay? It's founded on rebellion. The rebel, the prodigals of PDP is the umbrella. That's the good thing about the PDP. The prodigal son, they will go and come back. The umbrella will still be there for them. So let the prodigals continue to prodigalize. At the end of the day, they will come back. We will still accept them. They are our children. Train them. What do they know about politics?
Many analysts, Dr. Reuben, many analysts will stop saying that, his emergence and participation in this election will divide the votes PDP used to have in that region.
Not at all.
All right.
Not at all. People may want to vote Obi. Some persons, the obedient, may want to vote Obi. But they are also careful to drop the heavyweight, the mixed multitude, the lame, the blind, and the deaf that are trying to ride on Obi's back. People cannot be deceived in this 21st century. So they know. So if we have the obedience, but the obedience are careful to drop those. I wrote an essay on winnowing the chaff off the wheat. You understand? So we know the obedience are minded to winnow off the chaff. The chaff. They cannot deceive anybody. So Obi is there. But the people know PDP. We don't know of any other person. All those people running around, thinking that they can strike any votes, from Labour Party. It's not possible. PDP is on the ground, and the Enugu electorates are wise and literate, so they cannot be deceived.
Dr. Reuben, you're one of the few Igbo people committed to the PDP, despite calls for power shifts to the south. How well are you selling your presidential candidates to your people?
My presidential candidate?
Yes.
So who's my presidential candidate this time around?
How well are you selling your presidential candidate to the people?
Who is my presidential candidate? You mean Atiku Abubakar of the PDP?
How well are you selling your candidate, Atiku?
That for us in Enugu State here, we are looking at these things from the state level. You understand? We are looking at these things from the state level, and we also have a leader. Our governor is our leader, and directing us and leading us well. So where he leads us, we follow. But we are more or less concentrated on delivering our candidates from the state at the state level. But when it comes to national issues, our governor is our leader, and we trust that he will lead us well. We trust him. We have done it before him again.
All right. I would like you once again to answer this question. Why do you think Atiku Abubakar deserves to be elected president of Nigeria?
I don't know why you are still coming around, that is important. And like our people say, I have my lane. This is my lane. So don't take me off my lane.
All right, then. Let's move on. What would you suggest Indigbos should do in next year's election in ensuring that the zone is not marginalized moving forward? That was actually the reason why I asked you my earlier questions. What would you suggest Indigbos should do in next year's election in ensuring the zone is not marginalized moving forward? This year's election, rather. I do apologize.
You see, just like I told you, that I'm not minded play at that level. I confine myself to the job that is given to me here in the state. All right. So, but when it comes to politics of irredentity, it is neither here nor there. And yeah, we are in Igbo, of course, and issue of marginalization is there. Such questions have arisen over time. All right, and I believe that we are Igbo within the context of Nigeria. And if we are going to have a president of Igbo extraction, then it is not just the Igbo that will vote the person, but we also need to buy in. We also need to convince the other other zones to also buy into the Igbo project. It will be a credible person that has presented and has also articulated his manifesto and the message he has. So it's left for Nigerians that these things, and then they find him body and his message acceptable, and they vote, right? But for me now, I just want to concentrate on the politics of the and the job that it is as a media director of the campaign council.
Okay. You asked me to stay at your level.
You know, I'm surprised that
in the last election.
And the atrocities in Enugu. Have you not heard that the APC fraudulently is parading one person, George Ogara, as deputy governorship candidate, but his name is not in INEC portal? That the name, the robot, is from the same place as Chenaj, Enugu East Senatorial Zone, is the authentic running mate.
Dr. Reuben,
Yes.
you have asked me, Dr. Reuben, kindly hold on.
Yes. Yes.
You have asked me severally to stay at your level, so that's what we're going to do now. So let's talk about your party. In the last election, PDP recorded 95.6% votes to return Governor Ogwai. Do you see the party making such performance this time?
Yes, much more than that.
So what are you doing differently to bring that to reality?
Well, we have just told you about the value proposition that Peter Mbah has brought on the table. Has anybody ever brought that kind of value proposition? Has any of the person articulated the economic issues in Enugu State and told you that this is where we are, $4.4 billion, and that is going to move the GDP of Enugu State to $30 billion in 8 years? That's the humongous economy that he's talking about. So is it not enough? Isn't that enough to elicit the acceptance of the people of Enugu State? That has been explaining these things to the people, and they're buying into the project. And no other person is doing any other thing. Like I told you, I haven't seen anybody doing any other thing. Okay? So why wouldn't the people vote Peter? They will vote for the PDP. PDP is entrenched, it's on the ground, and has done well. Ogwai has done creditably well, on all fronts. And the people of Enugu State know that, and they are enamored of the government. And they have received Peter, and they are prepared to vote Peter.
All right, we're running out of time, so let's quickly talk about some other issues. Let me ask you, how will you rate preparations of INEC for the elections?
Well, I think that INEC has got enough time to prepare, and the other day I read that INEC is worried about the challenge, and might be thinking of postponing the election. And you can see the reactions of people who are saying no, there's no reason for that. We have had the situations worse than what it is now, and heaven didn't fall. So Nigerians are interested in election being held as scheduled. Nobody wants the election postponed, and we want present APC government to hand over on the 29th of May. So that is, if you feel the pulse of people, that's what they want. So nobody should bring the excuse of security or anything. They is scheduled to follow strictly. And I think that the INEC is prepared, apart from the security fear that they are raising. INEC is quite prepared for the problem.
All right. I would like to finally, before we go, what measures do you think should be put in place to ensure peaceful conduct of the general elections?
You know that security is key. And then I think security agencies also should, which is under the control of the federal government, should be prepared, to ensure security of lives and property during the elections. I think the president is minded government election. And Commander-in-Chief and even the police authorities, they report, all the security apparatus, they report to the president. So I believe that the president can get it right by mobilizing the security agencies, and equipping them right to ensure that peace delivered during guarantee during the election. That's what we anticipate. That's what we expect. I know that if the will is there,
All right, Dr. Reuben, in 30 seconds, I would like you to speak directly to the people of Enugu State.
All right, what I want to tell the people of Enugu is that there are no two moons in the sky. We all know PDP. And do the thing. They have done it right from 1999 to date. And the people are happy because the PDP has delivered. And today, we have someone who is coming to do more. You can see the manifesto that Peter Bach has presented. And it touches every aspect of our life. And Peter Bach promises economic prosperity to the Enugu citizen. Promises zero headcount, zero headcount of poverty. Sorry, zero poverty when he comes. So I believe that we have what it takes. Everybody should vote PDP, vote the PDP, vote Peter Bach, so that peace we have enjoyed continue, so that he can take on that economic level that he has proposed.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Reuben Onyishi, Director, Online Media, Enugu State's PDP Campaign Organization. Thank you very much for coming on Politics Tonight. And thank you very much for watching. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But the conversation continues from here. Get in touch with us on Twitter at TVC News NG and at Olajumoke using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Join us for the repeat episode at midnight and tomorrow for another edition of Politics Tonight. Digging beyond the headlines. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Goodbye.
A moment. Instant breaking news from all over the globe. Live streaming of your favorite programs delivered directly to you. Watch anytime, anywhere on your mobile or smart devices. Download the TVC News app today. Available on Google Play and Apple Store.
There is always more to a story than the screaming headline. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the first with breaking news.